Magandang araw ho sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Armand Q. Benco ng Colayco Foundation, welcoming you to another episode here in Seminar School Plus. Kung kayo komportable nanonood dyan sa inyong mga bahay or watching through or via the internet sa www.dzrh.com.ph, sit back, relax. This is the topic na maraming nag-send sa amin ng email or nag-post sa Facebook na gusto nyong ma-discuss dito sa ating Seminar School Plus. For this week's episode, what we will discuss, miski na dun sa mga live seminars ng Colayco Foundation, ang aming best-selling seminar na ngayon makukuha nyo ng libre dito sa RHTV sa Seminar School Plus, ay walang iba kundi yung a topic about mutual funds. Gumaganda ang takbo ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas, investment upgrades, improving investment climate. Ang epekto nito, baliwala kung tayo hindi makakalahok sa magandang takbo ng ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. And one clear, easy way to participate in the improving investment climate and benefit, actual, real benefit in the improving investment climate o yung gumagandang takbo ng ekonomiya is participate or invest via mutual funds. So, our agenda today, hatiin lang natin ng simple ng tatlo. Una, ano ba yung mutual funds? Pangalawa, bakit ko pipiliin? Bakit ako mag-i-invest dyan sa mutual funds? Maging ako ay estudyante pa lang, bago pa lang nagtatrabaho, nasa middle ng aking career, or about to retire, why will I choose mutual funds as an investment vehicle? At panghuli, paano ba ako makikinabang dyan sa investments? Paano ko yan ma-appreciate? Kung alam ko na kung ano, alamin din natin kung bakit, alamin natin kung paano. Okay, so sisimplihan natin sa tatlo. But before I get into actual investing in mutual funds, I want to spend the first 5 minutes or so on the basics of investing. Kasi yung mutual fund, it's not just a saving instrument. It is an investment vehicle. That's why I want to start off first, ano ba yung investing o pagpapalago? Investing sa amin sa Colayco Foundation simply is defined as a commitment to use money, to expect only, to expect, hope, and pray that you make more money based on your long-term goal. Maingat kaming namili ng mga salita para sa definition namin ng investing. Each word is very important. For example, commitment. Ibig sabihin, it's not one time na minsan ka lang nag-invest, tapos na. Commitment, ibig sabihin tuloy-tuloy habang ikaw ay nabubuhay. Expect, you only hope, pray na kumita ng pera dahil sa totoo lang, dito sa mundo, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, there is no guarantee in everything in life. Last, when you are investing, it is based doon sa mga gusto mo sa pangmatagalan. Kung kailangan mo short term, malamang hindi investment ang hinahanap nyo, malamang transaksyon or safekeeping. Halimbawa, malapit na ang magpapasokan na naman. Kung kayo ay medyo masinop and you are preparing for next school year, you may not consider mutual funds, our topic today, because it's such a short term, 1 year or less, kailangan yan for safekeeping na lang ang pera ninyo. So, further on, ano bang basic rules in investing? Una, mga madaling dapat matandaan. First, the higher the return, the higher the risk. So, pag kayo ay nagpapalago o nag-i-invest, there is this thing called risk. Huwag yung kakatakutan yung risk o lumayo sa risk at ayaw nyo ng risk. Why? Because lahat ng inyong kikitain, lahat ng paglago ng inyong pera, manggagaling sa peligro or risk na inyong kukunin. Hindi pwedeng walang risk at may kita. The higher the risk, the higher the return. Low risk, low return. Zero risk, zero return. Next rule, dahil investing nga is based on a long-term goal, be patient and work with time. Panghuli, remember, na banggit ko na dito sa Seminar School Plus, remember the initials, PTT. Purpose, Target, Timeline. Purpose, para saan ba itong pinaglalagakan ko? Para sa education ba? Para sa retirement ba? Para pambili ko ng bahay? Para ba sa granding bakasyon? Dapat merong clear purpose. Hindi yung mag-invest kayo sa mutual fund, our topic today, just because uso yung mutual funds or stock market. Next, have an identified target amount. Kasi kung walang target amount, hindi mo alam kung kailan ka matatapos or kailan mo mako-complete yung cycle of investing. Meaning, pag kayo nag-invest, kailangan mapakinabangan nyo, kailangan malasahan o makuha nyo yung benepisyo ng inyong investment. At pangatlo, dahil nga we espouse, you invest long-term and be patient, dapat alam mo yung timeline. Hindi pwedeng lahat next month or lahat next year. Work with 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Siguro pinakamatagal na yung 20 years. Lalo na sa mga kabataan, itong mga live audience natin ngayon sa studio, they're probably thinking of retirement. Retiring before they reach my age. That is what is available now to young ones or graduates of our generation. It need not be a retirement age of 60 or 65. Lalo na kung tama ang investing na ginawa. Just a snapshot of what P, T, and T means. For example, you want to invest and your purpose, you identified a retirement fund. Bakit ba, ba't ba pinaghahandaan lahat ang retirement? Of the so many goals, objectives, purposes sa pag-i-invest, I think common sa lahat ang purpose of retirement. Why? You will not work all your life, whether you want it or you were forced to stop working. Excuse me. So, everyone wants to prepare and should prepare for their retirement. So, if one is to prepare for his retirement, hihinto na siya magtrabaho, wala nang sweldong darating sa kanya, pero mabubuhay pa siya. Kailangan niya ng pera para ituloy-tuloy ang buhay niya. Kung nangangailangan siya ng 30,000 pesos a month today, 30,000 pesos or 1,000 pesos a day ang gastusin niya para sa bahay, pagkain, utilities, luxury, leisure activities. Kung 30,000 a month ang kailangan niya at ang timeline niya ay 20 years. So, sa tingin mo ilang taon ka gagraduate, Russell? Ang ating live audience dito. Ilang taon ka tingin mo gagraduate? 32? 32 years old ka gagraduate? Graduate. 20. So, siguro makakakuha ka kagad ng trabaho. Palagay na natin, nakakuha ka ng trabaho at age 22. At age 42, before my age, you can retire. You can retire. Kung halimbawa nangangailangan ka ng 30,000 pesos a month, Russell, or yung mga nanonood sa atin dyan sa bahay, you can now plan and target 19.1 million pesos. Bakit 19.1 million pesos ang kailangan bunuin ng someone who needs to retire 20 years from now and needing 30,000 pesos a month today? Because considering inflation, yung pagtaas ng mga presyo ng bilihin, nag-a-average siya ng 5%, sabi ng mga ekonomista, para safe ma-estimate ang paglago ng inflation. Upon retirement, ang kailangan ng pera ay 79,600. What 79,600 can buy is what 30,000 is buying today. Ulitin ko, what 79,600 pesos can buy 20 years from now is only equal to what 30,000 pesos a month is buying today. Why? Sabi ni ang mahal. Why? Because of inflation. Yung pagtaas ng mga presyo ng bilihin. If you set 19.1 million na target after 20 years at nagbibigay sa ito ng kita na 5%, naka-time deposit, medyo relatively less risk kinare sa mga lend type of instruments, yung 19.1 million pesos mo earning 5% will give you 79,600. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga tagapanood natin o yung sumusubaybay through the internet, from now till the next 20 years, you should save and invest and your target is 19.1 freaking million pesos. So, paano mo mabubuo yan? Okay? Almost 1 million a year. Okay? Dahil sa arithmetic, you can compute for it. Okay? What do I mean? If ikaw ay nag-save 25,000 pesos a month at nag-average siya ng 10% a year, average 10% a year, aabutin mo yung 19.1 million pesos. Punta na ako dito sa baba para hindi kayo masyado masindak. Kasi isipin nyo, ang laki-laki pala ng kailangan kong ipunin. If you save 7,100 pesos today at nag-average siya ng 20%, over a period of 20 years, you will get your 19.1 million pesos. Now, I only place this as a guide, meaning pwedeng tumaas ang average. Kapag tumaas ang average, dalawa ang pwedeng mangyari. In 20 years, baka more than 19.1 million pesos. Or 19.1 million pesos na ang nakuha ninyo, wala pang 20 years. In 15 years, nakuha nyo na yung 19.1. Therefore, thus, si Russell, kung ito siya, ang plano niya, then she can retire at a much earlier age. Now, what if you are my age or at age, you're in your 40s, you want to plan now, you have another 20 more years, at meron ka namang pang-umpisang kapital. Anong sabihin ng pang-umpisa? Meron ka nang napundar, meron kang lupa na nabili, na nakatiwangwang lang, binenta nyo, it amounted to 500,000 pesos. The 500,000 pesos, pinang-umpisa mo na rin para maabot yung 19.1 million pesos. Ibig sabihin, every month, liliit yung kailangan mong isave. Why? Because you have a starting capital of 500,000 pesos. Okay? Pabaliktad naman, what if you have 2.8 million pesos today? Nag-average siya ng 10%, in 20 years, you will get your 19.1 million pesos, miski na hindi kayo nagsasave or without saving every month. I'll move that further down. At 20%, you need less than 500,000 pesos. Now, ngayon lang, one time, you will reach your 19.1 million pesos without saving every month. So, baka yung mga tagapanood natin, meron kayong sasakyan, binili nyo, hindi nyo na ginagamit. Before mabulok, maibenta nyo ng 498,000, you put it as your retirement fund, wait for 20 years, that will become your 19.1 million pesos. As long as it averages 20% a year. Average. Meaning, in 1 year, pwedeng mataas, pwedeng mababa, basta sa loob ng 20 taon, nag-average siya ng 20% a year. Now, dapat lumalaro sa utak nyo, saan ako makaka-invest? Saan ko malalagay? Para may laban naman or may chance. Kasi sabi natin sa investing, you only expect. You cannot guarantee. You cannot assure. Where can I put my money, for example, 498,000 or 1,000 pesos a month, that can have a chance, strong, legit chance of earning, growing 20% a year or at least mag-average over a period of time. Of course, it's mutual funds. But I'll continue on about investing para to further appreciate later when I discuss already mutual funds. 3 keys that you should be looking when you are investing. First, yield and return. Second, risk and safety. Pangatlo, liquidity. Okay? Ang humahawak lahat dyan is this thing called asset allocation. O, medyo nakakasindak yung salita. Baka sabihin nyo, first time ko narinig yan, asset allocation. Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? Simply, it means do not put all your eggs in one basket. Hindi sa isang instrumento lang at isang beses ka lang mag-i-invest or magpapalago. Yield or return, what is our reminder kapag tungkol sa kita na ng inyong investment? Unang-una, dapat matalo nyo yung inflation rate, yung porsyento ng pagtaas ng mga presyo ng bilihin para mabibili mo in the future yung mga gusto mong mabili. Second, define your target. Yung kanina pinakita ko sa table, 10% ba, 15% ba, 20%. Now, let's talk about inflation. Ito ang inflation history ng bansa. Okay? From 1990 to 2012. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng inflation? Tumataas ang presyo ng bilihin. Yung dating binili nating 100 pesos, nung nag-umpisa tong taon na to, 323 pesos na siya. Why? Because yung pagtaas ng mga presyo ng bilihin. Yung binibili nating 100 pesos 10 years ago is 162 pesos na nung nag-umpisa itong taon na to. The past 3 years lang, yung 100 pesos, 111 na. Imagine, nung nag-umpisa kayo ng 4th year college kayo? Incoming 4th year. Doon nag-umpisa kayo ng college, yung 100 pesos, 111 na. So kung yung allowance nyo dapat, kung binibigyan kayo ng baon na pera, dapat 111 na. Kundi hindi nyo mabibili yung mga nabibili nyo noon. Okay? So, kayo mga kabataan, kayo mga estudyante na dumedepende pa sa allowance, ito ang magandang dahilan para gamitin kung kayo hihingi ng ng increase sa inyong allowance. Kasi it's very real. It's real from pamasahe to the notebook to the pad paper to what you eat. And lalo na yung adult, yung binabayaran na kuryente, binabayaran ng upa sa bahay, yung damit ng mga bata, tuition na binabayad, miski na sa state-run college or university or lalo na sa private, merong increases in cost or prices. That is inflation. Now, we're talking about investing. Nagpapalago ka. Let's look at just 2012, last year. The inflation is 3.1%. So yung 100 pesos nung natapos ang 2011, 103 pesos na and 10 centavos nung natapos ang 2012. Dahil 3.1 ang inflation rate nung 2012. Kung kayo gusto nyo mag-ipon, nanonood kayo lagi sa Seminar School Plus or do sa programa namin nila Dennis Antenor Jr. na pera-pera lang yan. Also here sa RHTV, nag-ipon kayo 100 pesos. Nilagay nyo sa bangko. At long term naman ang gusto nyo. Pero kung iko-compare mo sa inflation, yung 100 pesos mo, kung binigyan kayo ng 1% a year, yung 100 pesos nga 101 lang. Yung bilihin 103. Obviously, kung yan lang ang pera nyo, mabibili nyo pa rin, pero mangungutang kayo. Kaya hindi natin masisi pag minsan why the Filipino household or family is indebted. Why? Hindi lumalago yung kinikita niya, yung saving or investments niya, sa paglago ng ekonomiya or sa pagtaas ng mga presyo ng bilihin. So the first benchmark is beat inflation. Now, kung titingnan natin yung mga kadalasan pinaglalagyan ng pera, nag-savings deposit kayo. Kasalukuyan po, ang savings deposit rates ay 0.25 to 1% a year lamang. Babawasan pa yan ng withholding tax. So 0.2% to about 0.8% lang ang savings account. Yan, sinabi nyo, hindi ko gagalawin yung pera. Sasabihin ko sa bangko for the next 30 days, 1 year, 5 years even. Hindi ko withdraw yung pera. Tawag po doon time deposit. Ang time deposit rates from 1% to 2% lang. Ang inflation natin averages about 3.4%, 3.7% every year. So obviously, for investing, at sabi natin, ang guide nyo ay inflation rate, savings and time deposits are not investment instruments if that will be your benchmark, beating inflation. Okay? So, what could beat inflation? To wet your lips about mutual funds, kung ang inflation ay nag-average ng 3.4% the past 3 years as of end April 2013, let me show right away the performance of mutual funds. Itong topic natin today, compared to inflation rate. Okay? So makikita nyo, yung tatlong klaseng mutual funds, tatlong klase, lahat sila, tinatalo yung inflation rate. So this is one reason why you should consider mutual funds. Because easily, it beats the inflation rate. Second, kung iisipin nyo yung target earning rate, diba? Dalawa ang dapat yung tinitingnan, inflation at yung target earning rate nyo. 10%, 15% ba o 20%? Mutual funds has provided this, can still provide this, but they cannot promise. Okay? The past 5 months or from January to 2013 up to May 8, 2013, yung mutual funds, yung best performing, lumalago na ng around 24%. So, yung kanina pinakita kong 10, 15, and 20, obviously, ang kinoconsider ko rin na instrument is the mutual fund. Okay? Risk and safety. Sinabi ko na kanina, lahat ng inyong returns, kita o paglago, manggagaling sa risk. So, alamin nyo yung mga risks involved. Huwag yung katakutan ang risks. Second, safety. Investigate before investing. Alamin nyo kung sino yung kumpanya. Sino sila? Ano ang track record nila? Sino ang government agency na nagbabantay sa kanila at pinoprotektahan ang investor o kayo bilang mamamayan? At panghuli, intindihin nyo kung paano pinapalago yung pera ninyo. Hindi dahil nag-English lang, naka-Amerikana lang, akala nyo katiwa-tiwala na. Last but not the least, liquidity. Liquidity simply means dapat malaman nyo kung paano at gaano kadali maging cash yung investments nyo. It's one thing investing, putting in your money. How do you put it out? Dapat alam na alam nyo kung paano. Liquidity ang tawag doon. Okay? Now, if you are investing, there are only two types of investment transactions. It's either you're buying or you're lending. When you are lending, ang gusto nyong mangyari, regular income dumarating sa inyo. Ang benefit ng lend investment is called an interest. The nature of a lend type of investment is it's fixed, guaranteed, and insured. The process is you lend and dapat you can collect. Lower risk kasi alam mo na kung magkano, fixed. May pinangakuan ka pa, guaranteed. May insure mo pa. So mababa ang risk, you can expect low return. 1 to 8% only. There is still a risk because yung nangutang sa'yo o yung borrower may default or may not pay kung ano yung inutang sa inyo. Hindi lahat ng may utang nagbabayad. Paano naman yung buy type of investment? Compared to a lend type of investment, ang goal ng buy type of investment is for capital growth. Lumago yung pera niya. Ang benefit doon, hindi tinatawag na interest. Ang tawag ay gain or paglago. It's not fixed, not guaranteed. You cannot insure it. Ang taas ng risk. That's why you are given the potential higher reward of 10 to 20%. The process, sana mabibili mo ng mababang presyo, mabenta mo ng mataas kapag ibebenta mo na. Kaya ang benefit is called a gain. The risk is higher, the risk of selling what you bought at a lower price. Yun yung risk na kinukuha ninyo. Okay? Ano yung mga instruments na alam natin na available para sa inyo for lend type of investments? Yung mga bank products, savings deposits, time deposits, they are actually lend type of investments or instruments. Pinautang nyo sa bangko ang inyong pera. Pwede ka magpautang sa government, tawag doon government securities. Pwede ka magpautang sa mga pribadong kumpanya, yung mga malalaki, yung mga kilala, malamang tinatangkilik nyo, pwede kayong magpautang sa kanila. Anything or anyone that offers a promise, merong maturity, value or period like a pension plan, education plan, insurance, ang ginawa nyo, nagpautang kayo. Buy type of investments, ito, yung mga popular na naririnig nyo ngayon, stock market. Investing in the stock market, you're buying shares. That is obviously a buy type of investments. Pooled funds like mutual funds or unit investment trust funds, it's also buying of shares of that mutual fund. Nagba-buy and sell kayo ng dollar is a buy type of investments. Whatever, however kind of business na ginagawa nyo is actually a buy type of investment. Bumibili kayo ng lupa, bahay at lupa, condo or raw land or lupa na wala pang bahay, nagla-land banking kayo, ang tawag doon, you are obviously into a buy type of investments. Anong maaasahan yung return o kita sa lend type of investments? Nasabi ko na kanina, savings and time deposits from 0.25 up to about 2%. Napakataas na nun. Government securities, yung last year na nangutang ang pamahalaan sa kanyang mga mamamayan, around 6 to 7% yung retail treasury bonds. Corporate paper, yung mga pribadong kumpanya kapag nangutang, about 7 to 9%. Yung mga insurance, pre-need, pension plan, that's only giving you about 5 to 7%. Again, this is low return because lower risks. By type of investments, your stock market. The stock market, the past 5 years, has grown 157%. Or nag-average ng 31% a year. So kanina, yung pinakita ko again na 10, 15, and 20, obviously nandito yan sa buy type of investments. Mutual fund, the best performing mutual fund, 230%. Nag-average ng 46%. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung kaninang example natin na 19.1 million pesos at 20% in 20 years. If you're growing at 46%, you will get your 19.1 million pesos at a shorter period of time. Or, mas kailangan yung mag-ipon na mas maliit o mas kaunti para maabot yung 19.1 million pesos. Exchange rate, well, since the peso is appreciating, negative siya. Ibig sabihin, kung puro dollars ang hinahawakan nyo, kung kayo, kapamilya ng OFW, ramdam na ramdam nyo yan. Kung kayo dati nakakatanggap halimbawa ng 1,000 US dollars at 50 pesos, 50,000 ang nakukuha nyo. Ngayon, 40 pesos to a dollar, wala kayong kalaban-laban, 40,000 pesos na lang nakukuha nyo compared to 50,000 pesos. That is why, kailangan talagang matutong humawak ng inyong kaperahan. When you get into business or real estate, modest target is 10%. 10%, 15%. 20%, napakaganda o baka swerte na kayo at 20%. So, umpisahan ko muna sa stock market para talagang ma-appreciate nyo ang mutual funds. Obviously, yung ating stock market is getting all the accolades or pansin, attention, hindi lang ng mga Pilipino, piti ng mga dayuhan. Our Philippine stock market is one of the better, if not best performing in Asia and top 10 in the world. Right now, whether you believe it or not. Ano ba yung stock market? Gusto mong may-ari ng negosyo. Pwede ka mag-ari ng negosyo through the stock market. You buy shares of companies listed in the stock market. Sino ba yung mga nakalistang kumpanya sa stock market? Yung mga kumpanyang kilala nyo. Malamang tinatangkilik o binibili nyo ang produkto or serbisyo nila. Yung kumpanya na nagbibigay ng kuryente dito sa Metro Manila at mga kalapit na lalawigan like Laguna, Bulacan, Cavite, and the likes. Meralco. Gusto nyo maging part owner ng Meralco, you go to the stock market and buy shares of Meralco. Pagkain, you can buy shares of RFM or San Miguel or yung Robina Foods. Lahat ng mga kumpanya na kilala, kumikita, matibay, pwede kayong maging co-owner through the stock market. Now, again, the stock market is a buy type of investment. Not fixed, not guaranteed, not insured. Ito ang performance nga the past 7 years. Kung makikita nyo, iba-iba ang performance. From a low of negative 48 noong 2008, the effects of the global financial crisis, to 22%, to a single-digit 4% noong 2011, to 55% in 2009, to last year's 32%. Okay? If you look at the past 7 years, including the negative performance of 2008, nag-average ka pa rin ng 20.6 the past 7 years. Kaya yung kaninang table na pinakita kong 10, 15, 20, again, aside from mutual funds, stock market is one vehicle that can bring that. This year, 2013, ang projections ng mga eksperto for the whole year of 2013, mga 15 to 20% ang paglago ng ating stock market. As of May 8, or as of May 7, 24.4 na ang paglago. Nalagpasan nga na yung projection of 15 to 20% for the whole of 2013. Hindi pa natatapos ang kalahati ng taon, nasa 24.4 na. Okay? But what is the reality kapag kayo nag-i-invest sa stock market? Una, kailangan lagi nyo nababantayan. Constant monitoring. Second, kailangan marami kayong source of information. Kung ang source of information yon newspaper lang o balita lang, nangyari na, tapos na ang pagganda ng isang kumpanya sa stock market, malamang nahuli na kayo. So kailangan meron kayong hindi lang dumedepende sa chismis, meron talaga kayong good source of information. Pangatlo, may galing at sikmura kayo kung kailan bibili, kailan ibebenta. Dahil minsan, pag wala kayong galing dyan pumapasok yung sobra kayong matatakot or sobra kayong magiging swapang or greedy. Pangapat, higher amount ang kailangan if you invest in the stock market. Meron mga online stock market brokerages, CitySec Online, PhilStocks.ph, that allow minimum 5,000 pesos, you can invest already in the stock market. But the reality is, kung gusto mong bilhin yung mga magagandang kumpanya, halimbawa PLDT, nag-average siya ng 2,500 pesos per share. Kung 5,000 pesos lang ang pera mo, hindi ka makakabili ng PLDT. Why? There is a rule in the stock market. You should buy a minimum board lot. Meaning, sa PLDT, kailangan minimum 5 shares ang bibilin mo. So, 12,500 na ang ilalabas mo. Doon sa online, yes, you can use 5,000 pesos, but you cannot buy PLDT. So, very limiting. That's the reality of stock market. That's why, sa Colayco Foundation, or for our episode today, we want you to appreciate and eventually, after exploring and studying further, get into pooled funds or mutual funds. Okay? What are pooled funds? Simple ang ibig sabihin ng pooled funds. Iba't ibang klaseng investor, individuals like you and me, government and private pension companies, insurance companies, some even banks or retirees, put their money in a vehicle. This vehicle is driven by a fund manager or a trust manager. He is entrusted to bring this investment vehicle to its destination. Ano yung destination na pwede niyang puntahan? That goes to the three types of pooled funds. Pag sinabing fixed or bond funds, 90% ng perang na-pool or nagbakas-bakas, pinapautang sa gobyerno or sa mga pribadong kumpanya. Pag equity or stock funds, 70% to 90% ng perang nabakas-bakas or that were pooled, ini-invest sa stock market. Balance fund, as the term connotes, kalahati pinapautang, kalahati binibili sa stock market. Kaya tinawag na balance fund. Dito sa Pilipinas, meron dalawang klaseng pooled funds. A mutual fund and a unit investment trust fund. Ano ang pinagkaiba? Ang UITF, Unit Investment Trust Fund, is a bank product. A bank product that you participate in that product of the bank. A mutual fund is a company that you buy shares of and you become co-owner of that mutual fund company. Okay? For us, or for our topic today, it's mutual fund. Okay? So, what are mutual funds? Mutual funds are companies na ang produkto or serbisyo nila isa lang, pera and investments. You become co-owner of a mutual fund when you actually invest in a mutual fund. The government agency that regulates, monitors, guards, and guides mutual fund companies and its investor, the public, is the Securities and Exchange Commission. One strong advice of the Securities and Exchange Commission is that you read the prospectus of the mutual fund. The prospectus is the parang Bible of that mutual fund company. It's more than a brochure of that mutual fund company. It shows its investment objectives, the risks involved, the track record or fund performance, at ano pa yung mga additional expenses na malamang gagastusin ng isang mutual fund investor for that specific company. Nakalagay din, sino ang mga taong nasa likod? Sino ang advisor? Sino ang umahawak ng pera? Sino ang nagde-decide? Everything that you know, you need to know on that mutual fund, nandoon sa tinatawag na prospectus. So, how do pooled funds work? I'll try to simplify it, but actually it's kind of complicated inside when you run a mutual fund. Hindi siya pinapatakbo ng isa, dalawa, tatlong tao. A good mutual fund company na nakita ko na sure, nakapag-invest at nakapag-benefit, they run from 20, yung pinakamaliit yata is close to 30, meron akong nakita about 60. Of the 30 to 60 na empleyado ng mutual fund company, wala silang marketing, wala silang ahente. Most of it are from research, studying, monitoring, and binabantayan each and every company that they are investing, if in the stock market or pinapautang nila sa kanilang mga corporate bonds or lalo na yung performance ng gobyerno. Simply, a mutual fund company is a intellectual company because more than anything, it's research and information ang pinoprovide ng maganda, magaling, responsible na mutual fund company sa kanyang investors. Yung pagpapatakbo ng mutual fund, hindi lang kung anong nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas o nangyayari doon sa kumpanya na kung saan sila nag-i-invest. Pito yung nangyayari sa buong mundo, they factor in because indeed, it affects the performance of a country's economy, performance of a company, performance of that mutual fund. Dalawa lang naman na magiging choice nyo if you want to grow your money via buy investment. You do your own hustle, or you take advantage of the muscle of an institution like a mutual fund. What do we mean? Let me give the realities. 90% of money being invested daily or regularly in the stock market or in the fixed income market is dominated by institutional brokers. Anong sabihin ng institutional brokers? Fund managers of mutual fund companies or investment houses. Kakaunti ang mga individual retail investor. They only make up 10% of the volume that is being transacted in our capital market. Even our fixed income. Most of you do not know that ang pamahalaan is offering an investment instrument called government securities or retail treasury bonds. 5,000 pesos, mas mataas ang interest na ibibigay sa inyo compared to any bank. But how come you don't know that? Or if ever you do, tapos na or ubos na because it's dominated by the institutional investors like fund managers of mutual fund companies. Even the play in the stock market, actual play in the stock market, again, is dominated by institutional buyers or investors. Pag pooled funds, ang isang benefit pa niya, or most of its benefits are the following. Yung gusto nyong diversified investment, ibig sabihin, iba't ibang investment ang paglalagyan nyo, hindi lang PLDT. Sa mutual fund, with a low starting investment of 5,000 pesos, yan ang initial minimum investment, automatic na, diversified. Dahil yung 5,000 nyo, nakabakas sa 30 billion ng isang mutual fund company. Yung 30 billion nila, iba't ibang stocks ang binili, iba't ibang kumpanya ang pinautang. Kung anong mangyari doon sa 30 billion nila, yun ang mangyayari sa 5,000 nyo. Okay? So it's automatically diversified. It's actively managed by professionals, backed up by good research. They have access to fixed income and better or you optimize the performance of your 5,000 pesos or your investments. Okay? Now, kanina sinabi ko yung 3 keys. Yield and return, risk and safety, tsaka liquidity. Tingnan natin kung how it works for mutual funds. Risk and safety. Sa mutual funds, one way of managing the risk is yung diversification. SEC, the government agency regulating mutual funds, they have a rule sa Securities and Exchange Commission, 10-10-25. They do not allow a mutual fund, or they require a mutual fund na dapat 10% meron sila cash right away for anyone who wants to withdraw in their mutual fund. They cannot invest more than 10% in one company para ma-automatic na ma-diversify. Hindi yung baka nag-connive yung isang kumpanya at yung mutual fund. Lahat ng pera ng mutual fund, binili lang dun sa isang kumpanya na yon. No mutual fund can invest more than 10% of their investable funds in one company. And a mutual fund, they cannot invest no more than 25% of all their funds in one industry. Ibig sabihin, lahat sa telecom lang or lahat sa banking lang. Kaya ang maximum limit nila, 25% per industry. Okay? So, yung 5,000 na initial investment, kung gagawin mo yung kung anong ginagawa ng mutual fund company, siguro kailangan mo mga 200 to 500,000 pesos. But with 5,000 pesos, binakas mo sa mutual fund, now you enjoy the benefit of having that bigger amount wherein 5,000 lang talaga ang inyong na-invest. Okay? Liquidity, you can sell it anytime. Even if they have a holding period, kung gusto mong ibenta, by law, T plus 7, when you transacted, yun yung T, by law, a mutual fund is given 7 days to settle or give the proceeds of your redemption sa mutual fund. Paano ba ma-appreciate yung mutual fund? First and foremost, ang isang common sa lahat ng mutual fund is this thing called net asset value or NAV. Yan yung buying and selling price of that mutual fund or a particular mutual fund in a specific day. Each day, naiiba-iba yan. And each day, pinapaalam yan sa publiko, sa media, via radio, via TV, via newspaper, via internet, pinapaalam ang daily net asset value ng mga mutual funds. As far as return, dahil it is a buy type of investments, returns are not guaranteed. Why? You buy shares of a mutual fund, You hope to buy it at a low price compared to the selling price na sana mas mataas at that time na ibebenta nyo. Okay? Let's see a simulation, but actual real prices. For example, nung May 7, 2010, bumili kayo ng isang mutual fund. Mamaya ko na sasabihin ko anong kumpanya yon, kung anong mutual fund. Ang minimum initial investment is 5,000. Bakit ko sinasabi o dinidiin yung minimum initial? Kasi pwede kayong magdagdag. Kapag kayo nagdagdag, ang minimum investment na sa mutual fund pagkatapos ng first investment nyo is 1,000 pesos. Pero yung unang bigay, kailangan 5,000. Kailangan ka ba magbigay every month, every week, every quarter, every year? No. Kasi hindi naman to yung insurance or pre-need na meron kang annual or quarterly kailangan bayaran. You are buying shares. So you will decide. It is your choice if and when you will buy or sell what you bought, which are shares of that mutual fund. So for example, nung May 7, 2010, your 5,000 pesos bought 349 shares of this mutual fund. Why? The NAV or net asset value for that day for this mutual fund is 14 pesos 32.53. So for 5,000 pesos at this buying price of 14.32.53 will give you 349 shares. 5,000 divided by the NAV is 349. Now, you waited 3 years investing long term. After 3 years, May 7, 2013, ang NAV na ay 35.08. You sold 349 shares kasi yun yung nabili mo noong 2010. Binenta mo na yung 349 shares mo at this NAV. NAV is the buying and selling price of the mutual fund. So, ang proceeds na makukuha mo, 12,244. Yung 5,000 mo dati, mahigit doble na after 3 years. If you look at its percentage, that's averaging 48% a year. So again, ibabangga ko dun sa PTT natin kanina, Purpose Target Timeline, na 10, 15, and 20% target earning rate. Ito, ang naging actual average earning rate niya, 48%. Instead of just 10, 15, or 20. Okay? So, what are the mutual fund who are the mutual fund companies out there that I can openly endorse and stake my name and announce on TV? 4 of about 40 mutual fund companies, you will never go wrong. I personally, managing a cooperative and I managing some funds for our company, have invested one time or another or are still investing in this mutual fund companies and enjoying its benefits. I believe you can never go wrong with this 4 of the 40 mutual fund companies. First and foremost is Phil Equity Fund. They're located in Tectite in Ortigas. You just Google Phil Equity Fund. Phil Equity Fund has the longest winning track record. I think they've been in existence for close to 20 years now. Consistently, constantly performing very well. There are years na mababa. I think there are 3 or 4 years na they performed negative. But over the past 20 years, imagine they started at 1 peso. Now they are 35 pesos per share or their NAV. And then there is First Metro Asset Management, a fund management company that has a family of mutual funds under management sa kanila. First Metro Asset Management is owned or under the umbrella of the Metrobank Group. Second to the last or next to the list is BPI Asset Management. They have one of the most or they manage isa sila sa management company, fund management company ng pinakamaraming hinahawakan na funds under management. BPI Asset Management. Obviously, makikita nyo na, they're under the umbrella of Bank of the Philippine Islands. And last but not the least is PhilAm Asset Management. PhilAm is more known as an insurance company. But lately, they have put up a fund management company because not everyone is interested in buying insurance or natatakot bumili ng insurance or simple hindi yun ang gusto nila. Gusto nila lumago ang pera nila. from recent years, they have started a fund management company, PhilAm Asset Management. Consistently also, the past 4 or 5 years, they are performing comparatively well. Of any of the 4, kung tatanungin nyo, sino bang number 1 dyan? Sino ang best performing dyan? Alam nyo ho, itong 4 na to, PhilEquity Fund, First Metro Asset Management, BPI Asset Management, or PhilAm Asset Management, these fund management companies, naglalaban-laban lang sila year in, year out, sino yung number 1, number 2, pag minsan the following year, the previous year, number 3, pero naglalaro lang kung sino yung number 1 among these 4. Kaya pumili kayo among these 4, you will never go wrong. Their difference as far as performance is concerned among themselves, pag minsan 1%, 2% lang among themselves. So kung yung PhilEquity ay 24% this year, yung First Metro nasa 21, yung BPI Management nasa 23, yung PhilAm baka 23.5. So magkakalapit lang. Hindi naman malaking-malaki na kapag hindi yun ang napili nyo, lugi na kayo compared dun sa iba. So check out these 4 mutual fund companies. You will never go wrong with them. Okay? So in closing, I would just like to use Mr. Colayco's favorite quotation. You have heard about mutual funds. The next Seminar School Plus episode, we will discuss mutual funds part 2, investment strategies in mutual funds, dahil kapos na tayo ng oras ngayon. But Mr. Colayco would want to share with you his favorite quotation. Now that you've heard about mutual funds, let us not be afraid of tomorrow. Lalo na kayong mga live audience namin dito sa studio. You're about to venture into your last year of college life. Do not be afraid of your last year in college. You have seen the past 3 years, you, our viewers on TV or via the internet who are following us, you have seen the previous administration, the first 3 years of this current administration. Kung medyo kasing edad ko kayo, ilang presidente na nakita natin. What's important is you seize today. Even for young ones who may not have 5,000 pesos right away today to invest in a mutual fund, start with 50 pesos, saving it every day or every week. Baka pagdating ng December, merong mag-aginaldo sa inyo, another 1,000, 4,000 na naiipon nyo, then you can start your own mutual fund. So, there is no reason now for a Filipino to say, wala akong tsansa, wala akong opportunity. Mag-iipon sana ako, magpapalago, yung mga mayayaman lang ang yung mayaman. There are instruments, like our topic today, mutual funds, that can provide that growth for you, and you actively participate in this improving economic condition of our beloved country. Okay? So some advertisements, I'd like to invite you again to check out the books published by the Colayco Foundation, written by our Chairman Francisco Colayco. They're all available in national bookstores. They're in bilingual, meaning English and Filipino. So kung merong kailangan bigyan diin, tinatagalog po siya. They're available in National Bookstore, Power Books, and Fully Booked. And of course, I'd like to acknowledge my one of the reasons why I'm here. It's the Kapatiran sa Kasaganaan Service and Multipurpose Co-op, or KSK Co-op for short. You check out their website. They are an opportunity provider for saving and investing. They have an instrument inside the cooperative that will make mutual fund investing easy for you. You can start by investing in a mutual fund if you are a KSK Co-op member for as low as 300 pesos every month. So check out www.kskcoop.com. Ako naman po, you can follow me sa mga social media. Sa Facebook, you just search in Facebook Arman Benco, one word, you will find my Facebook account. And on Twitter, because every day I post or I tweet something that will hopefully encourage, motivate, educate you in saving and investing. You just search in Twitter, Arman Benco, and you get to check out, if you follow me, you get to check out my daily tips in saving and investing. So this has been another episode of Seminar School Plus here in our home, RHTV. We encourage you to get in touch with us. As I said, through social media, you may want to be part of our live audience. We welcome you here. Katulad ngayon, punong-puno kami, around 7,000 dito sa loob ng studio. Kasya pa another 3,000 dito. So you send us a post in Twitter or in Facebook ask us how we can accommodate you, because we'll give you the address and the schedule of Seminar School Plus airing. So this has been Arman Benko asking you again to join us next week, Mutual Funds Part 2, for another episode of Seminar School Plus here on RHTV.